And time for a talk of the town today here on AM 1390 KRFO. And Julie Rethemeier joins us today from Federated Insurance. And something that just recently got underway is a campaign that Federated is getting involved in as far as distracted driving. Maybe we'll just start off with it. Why is Federated? Why did you choose this?
Hey, good morning.
Hello.
It's good to be here. Yeah, so thank you for having me. I'm excited to come talk to you this morning about our distracted driving campaign. And actually, we have been focused on this throughout the years with our clients. We had a program quite a few years ago called In the Blink of an Eye, and we still focus on that with our clients as well. But more recently, probably like back in about October, this new campaign came out called What's Important to You? Please Make It Home Safe Today. And really, the focus and the reason why we're doing this is we were seeing an increase in the number of claims, auto liability claims, from our insureds, from our clients, and kind of a really disturbing trend. And then as our kind of our top leadership was looking at other insurance companies, they're saying, you know what, we're seeing the same types of things. And you can't pinpoint exactly down to distracted driving, but a lot of them were accidents and car accidents and auto liability, and that's kind of the main premise that people think. So that's what really started the initiative.
And again, of course, it'll help Federated, but it'll help everybody actually, hopefully in the long run.
Oh, exactly. That's a great point. Our claims are going up. We insure about 300,000 vehicles across the country, not just in Owatonna. 300,000 vehicles across the country. About 1 million people is what we figure we insure when we take into account all of our insureds and their family members and that type of thing. And we pay the claims. We have the money to pay the claims. We're going to pay the claims. That's not the issue. The issue here is really the people, the lives that are lost, just or impacted in some way, shape, or form. I mean, if you think about that, and we've just had so many of our clients that we've known, and there's been hundreds of them that have been impacted by distracted driving, and it's just heartbreaking. And so that's really what this is about. Is we want to help encourage the change of habit and behavior in our clients, but then also with our own employees, and we wanted to bring this message out into the community, and that's kind of why I'm here today. Because, Lauren, it's a bad habit. It's a horrible habit.
And of course, I right away see someone with their cell phone, but what are you talking about? The whole gamut as far as distracted driving, eating, anything?
Right. So distracted driving really is, and I just want to kind of make sure I put the disclaimer out there. I'm not, law enforcement or an authority in those ways, just very much a concerned citizen in that respect, and working with Federated and in our campaign here. But distracting driving, they really look at, like, there's 4 different components of it. It's the visual distraction, kind of the mechanical, if you're eating, you take your hands off the wheel. The cognitive, if you're kind of really having a bad day, you're thinking about something else and your mind is not where it needs to be, or it's a combination of all 3 of those. And cell phone use really is a combination of all 3 of those things coming into play, and that's that distraction. And so our campaign really is the focus on the cell phone use, because that is becoming really an epidemic.
And it doesn't take long. I mean, a second. That's all it takes. And you're in trouble, maybe.
Exactly. You just look down for a minute and you look back up, and really what some of the statistics have said is about 5 seconds is what it takes when you look down to look at a text. Maybe you're just reading something, you're checking something, but it's about 5 seconds. And the Minnesota State Patrol has said that's like putting a blindfold on, driving 55 miles an hour the length of a football field. I mean, that's crazy. How many people would actually, sign up to do that? Mm-hmm. But they're doing it every day when they decide to take a look at their phone or take a sneak peek just to see if somebody texted them. Or worse yet, if we're going to take a Snapchat or post something to Facebook, that's, probably even longer. So yes, I think people need to be aware of the definite dangers of distracted driving. And there's statistic after statistic out there. It's the leading cause of crashes. Out of 1 in 4 crashes, the Department of Public Safety will tell you that. I mean, there's all the hundreds and thousands of people that are either injured or killed. But the real main takeaway on that, if you're not a numbers person, you don't want to remember all those stats, is every single one of them were preventable. Mm-hmm. These are preventable crashes that did not have to happen because someone chose to use their phone while they were driving.
And again, I believe I've talked to enough law enforcement. I guess it is legal to talk on the cell phone when you drive, but again, even if it's legal, it's advisable. A phone call should be able to wait, shouldn't it?
Well, that would be my guess. Yes, I think it definitely should be able to wait. And like I said, I'm not law enforcement, and we're not here from that perspective, but really just trying to get the word out. And the main focus of Federated's campaign, what I mentioned, is what's important to you. And hopefully people have seen our billboards on I-35. We have 4 of them going north and south, a couple of north, a couple coming south. We have our radio ads that are being played locally. I mean, just really talking about what's important to you. And we have a little girl with the biggest, beautiful brown eyes kind of looking at you. And the reason we chose that wasn't just for her, but we want every person to take a look at those eyes and say, who is that for you? That's looking back at you and saying, you know what, you're really important to me. I care about you. I love you. I want you to make it home safe. Because it needs to be a change in habit and behavior. And it can happen one person at a time, but it has to be when somebody's ready to make that change. And so who is it to you? It could be even your animal or somebody that you care about that needs you to come home. And so each of us needs to, look in those eyes and say, you know what, I'm going to put my phone away and I'm going to make it home safe today.
It'd almost be fun just to sit in front on a sidewalk and just count the cars and see how many cars don't have a cell phone next to their ear, how many don't. I think it would surprise people. I want to see it. Sometimes it's maybe close to half the cars I meet, they've got a phone in there.
Right, or they're looking down. You can tell at a 4-way stop if you're looking down, or they're missing the light, or they're distracted. They're looking at their phone. Yesterday, actually, I was sitting at a stop sign waiting for the person in front of me. And I waited what seemed like a fairly long time, and I realized they weren't moving at all. They were just looking at their phone until I gave them the friendly tap of the horn, and they were like, oh, sorry. So distraction, you totally there's that thought thing again. You get totally lost in thought on what you're reading or what's happening in front of you. And unfortunately, like you just said, 50% of the cars, you can drive down the highway, anywhere where you see somebody looking down, looking at their phone, that kind of a thing, and it's all too common of a sight. And where we hope we can get to is that's a sight that we look at someday and go, oh my gosh, that is insane. Why are people doing that? And the example I bring up is you think of hockey players back in the day didn't wear a helmet. And you look at that now and it's like, why would they not wear a helmet? It's dangerous. You get hurt. You could get killed. Well, guess what? With distracted driving, if you're choosing to use your phone, you can get hurt, you can get injured, you can get killed. It's dangerous. And we need to get to that same point of saying, this is insane. Enough's enough.
One of the things I guess this bugs me. I get to a stoplight or a stop sign, another car coming at a stop sign, and they sit there on their phone, and I'm going to turn left. Oh, I better wait. They're coming straight ahead. And then all of a sudden, they put the phone down. Then they turn their blinker on. Oh, they're going to go left too. I could have gone anyway. It's like they think, I guess I better turn my blinker on. I was too busy talking. It drives me nuts.
Right. It's frustrating.
Yeah.
It is frustrating. So that's why each one of us need to make that commitment to stop the habit, stop the behavior. Really a neat thing that we were able to be involved with, Federated was able to be involved with, was at the Department of Public Safety. April is National Distracted Driving Month. Now we're in May, and it's, we still want to be talking about it. We still want to get that word out there. But we were able to partner with the Department of Public Safety and 31 other companies from across the state. Their CEOs, their top leaders, and really saying enough's enough. Employers are really seeing it. They're seeing the harm it has for their employees and in their workplaces, the costs and that type of thing. So it was a pretty neat experience to be able to have all those people gathered together and say, let's take a top-down approach, and hopefully we can get this message down to our employees, and employees will bring it to their family members. And if we can trickle it down that way, that's super important. So really hoping other people join us to say enough is enough. We don't want that person sitting at the stoplight next to us. It's each of us. Enough's enough. Let's put our cell phones down, tuck it away. I kind of encourage people, even if it's just, if you're driving right now and you're listening to us and you maybe have that cell phone, you're tempted to take a look at it, put it in your, in the seat, or I always put it in my purse behind me so I can't reach it. Put it somewhere, tuck it away, even if it's just for the next 5 minutes. Habits are sometimes hard to break, and so if you can just start slow, make a vow for one day or for one trip not to look at your cell phone, you will realize that the importance and that you can do it. I encourage you that you can do it.
Mm-hmm. Of course, we're just talking cell phone, but I believe I'd say in the last couple months there was some research that came out, and they said the number one problem with distracted driving was reaching for an object other than your cell phone, like it could be, I don't know, for something, I don't know what would be, a sandwich on the floor or something. They say that was the number one thing, reaching. So don't just think cell phones. There's other stuff causes trouble.
You are absolutely correct. Right. So a cell phone is one aspect of distracted driving. It is the one that we're focused on and that we see. But you're right. There are so many other different distractions. And yeah, reaching for anything. Sometimes kids in the back seat of the car.
Oh, yeah.
And turning around to look at them can be a distraction. So just really what the Department of Public Safety says and the things that I've read is, limit your distractions. Try and have, your map quest mapped out ahead of time so you know where you're going. Hopefully you're not eating and drinking, but have everything, all your controls set out so before you hit the road, or pull over to the side and take care of the things that you need to take care of, and then keep going. We're always in a hurry. You always got to get somewhere fast. That extra 2 minutes is going to make a big difference. Pull over and just be safe for everyone, for yourself, your family, and everyone else around you.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. You struck a chord. You said turn around. Been a long, many, many years, but yeah, I can see that. I'm in the car and turning around, checking on the baby, and then we said the map. That's me. I don't have the GPS. I'm guilty there. Where I'm kind of looking at a map and I'm looking up. Of course, I don't go anywhere nowadays, but back when I did, yeah, there's a lot of little things you don't think about that. Well, they distract you.
Right. And I've had a few questions on the Google Maps. It's great. It's a great tool to get you where you need to go, if you are traveling somewhere. But the key is, set it ahead of time. Make sure you're not trying to type in your address as you're driving. Take that 30 seconds to do it ahead of time before you actually put your car and go or drive. And so just those little things can make a huge difference.
And another thing I think about is, you can stand out in the street and you hear these cars and those speakers in the trunk that are just boom, boom. How in the world do they ever hear an ambulance or I wonder how they can't, can
That's
they?
true.
It's
I don't know.
Kind of distraction,
Exactly.
Keep the radio down a little bit.
Yeah, you want them to have that radio on, right? But
but
just not so loud.
Yeah. Good girl. You're on my side. No. We're talking to Julie Rethemeier from Federated Insurance about their distracted driving campaign. Anything we need to cover or else to say to wrap things up, Julie?
Yeah, I just want to emphasize the importance. So Federated is looking at this because we just really care about our clients, our employees, and our community, and we just care about all the people there, and that's why we're getting this message out and just saying, really evaluate what's important to you, and please put your cell phone away and make it home safe today.
Okay, that's our Talk of the Town for today here on AM 1390.